this reading is showing us about the collective energies that are currently in play for how everyone is reacting to the surroundings and what has been happening around us now for quite some time. And what we're seeing here is that we are currently in a time where everyone is starting to react again in a more favorable way to what's happening around us. And we're seeing times where people are starting to come together a little bit more in a period of celebration and joy and happiness that hadn't been seen for a while. The past energies that we're coming out of is a time of frustration, a time of feeling stagnant, a time of not seeing the happiness and the joy around us, of not experiencing a lot of positive energies and influences in our life, of just not simply being able to see them or look at them. So what we're seeing is a time where there are people coming forward to speak their truth, to talk about what has really been happening, what's been happening in our world and around us. I'm really seeing more messages coming forward in the collective of people that are willing to have a voice, that are willing to speak out about what has been happening and how they feel that energy can be transmuted in a way from the time of not recognizing the joy and the happiness around us into things that can be more in a time of enlightenment, in a state of ease and joy and happiness. So what is likely going to happen at this time is a period of time where we really see things start to fall away. The things that are no longer serving us in this world and our planet are going to start to be washed away and ushered away by the people that are willing to stand up and speak their truth about how things that they have felt have been unjust in our world, and really show ways that those energies can start to be transmuted and taken away by people that are willing to shed light on subjects that haven't really been spoken about for a long time. So I think we'll see here in the energies coming forward in the coming years, in the coming days, in the coming months, but more so over a period of longer time, of those in the collective that are the sparks of light really starting to get their wings and to speak out about the injustices that have been happening and how they see that those energies can start to flow light back into our planet and our universe again, so that we can start to see those times of greater celebration and joy and happiness. Ultimately, because we're all looking forward to times where there is greater peace, greater contentment, greater happiness within ourselves, within our families, within our collective. And it is those that are willing to come forward, that are willing to speak up, that are willing to be the way showers of change on our planet, in our communities, in our schools, in our foundations, in our places of work, in our places of worship, those that are willing to come forward and say, I think these are the things that we're doing that aren't working, that haven't been working for a long time, and that I think that there are some other ways that we can start to transmute those energies and do things in a different way. So that, I think, is what we're going to see a lot of, and it will happen now more so in the energies that we're starting to see shift even today. And then as we move forward more into the future, more and more of those things will be coming about. None of these things are going to happen completely overnight, but I think we will see more people in the collective really coming forward and speaking their truth in small and in large ways to start impacting the overall energies of our planet, of our communities, of our countries, even within our friends and our family, that the way that we've done things doesn't necessarily have to be the way that we always do things. And by doing that, by coming forward and by speaking truths of the way that things can be done and seen in a different light, we start to see a transmutation of the energy in a more positive direction by opening our eyes to the ways and the outlets of things going away that are no longer serving us, and bringing in those periods of light and happiness and joy in all sorts of different ways throughout the collective in large and small ways, from the way that we treat ourselves, the way that we treat our pets, the way that we eat, the way that we live, the way that we interact with others. All of those things are starting to be transmuted, and we're starting to see the shift in the energies balance out more in recognizing and acknowledging the negative energy that's been there, and not placing blame, but just looking at ways that we can shift that energy in more positive ways towards the happiness, the light, the love that the collective, I think, is really always been looking for and striving for and going about in ways that weren't necessarily in line with that of love, light, and compassion for others. So at this time, I think the main message here is, if you are not currently a wave shower and you have been guided to this video, that is your wake-up call. That is the call to the collective to really be looking within yourself about how you have been living, how you've been living in your personal life, in your family life, in your work life, and your day-to-day activities, and what is it that you can really do to show a better way for yourself and to lay a foundation and a template for others to follow, to be able to start to shift the energies. It's by others who haven't yet stepped up to, but that have those light within them, to be able to spark themselves, to be able to be sparked by those around you, to speak your truth and to spread your wisdom in whatever ways that you're ready to hear it, and what other ways you can see that others around you are able to hear it as well. To start to spread that message more openly, to feel comfortable spreading that message more openly, and by doing that, to see the ripples go out in directions of messengers of speaking truth, and how that can transmute our energies of our planet in new and wonderful ways. What we really think the call to action here is for the collective is to speak out in more righteous ways, more ways that are less timid, more ways that are less comfortable, ways that are less full of protection of yourself, of your own energies, for everyone to be willing to step out of their comfort zone and really start to look at how what you're doing and what you are willing to say and do and endure has an impact on yourself as well as on others. So what is it that you're not saying right now that you know deep down within that you feel like you should be saying, but you are having a protective barrier around yourself to prevent you from acting in ways that you know that others are probably having an inkling within themselves as well, but no one is taking the courage to step up and really say that. There's a lot of us out there that have a lot of different ideas and fantasies about the way that things could be. And we look a lot to others to speak the way for us, to be the ones that are willing to step out and say what they believe, or this is the right way to do things. And I think what really this energy is showing us is that we need more people who are willing to speak out now, that are willing to speak out on behalf of themselves, and that aren't afraid of speaking out for what they know to be a better way to do things. The more people that are willing to do that, the more that we shift the energy. So a couple of people speaking out starts the ball rolling in the right direction. But the more that you do that, you're laying a template for others to speak out in ways as well, to help others see that there are different voices out there and different ways of seeing things and doing things that can really start to shift the energies in new and exciting ways. What I think we need to hear and understand the most, what Spirit is telling me here, is that there are multitudes of us out there that have the light within us, that have been sparked to action, but are still waiting for that secret to be whispered in our ears of what it is that we need to do specifically on our journey to lead us to where it is that we need to be, myself included. And we're looking for that messenger to come and tell us this is exactly what it is that you need to be doing, and this is how you need to do it. And what Spirit is telling me is that's not likely going to happen for most of you. But if you're led to this video, it's because you have been led to a place of understanding that you are called to be a way shower. You are called to be one who is ready and willing to speak out and speak about things in a different way, and to show others that it's safe and it's okay to look at things differently. It's okay to say, I'm not willing to continue to live in these conditions. It's okay to say, I'm not willing to be one who follows the standards that are being set for me on how to live by my own personal hygiene, my own personal standards, by the government. It's okay to say that you are not allowed to make those decisions for me. Those are my personal rights, and I choose to be one who speaks out and says that I think it's okay to say that. It's okay to say that I don't have the same belief as you. It's okay to say that I look at things differently, and I choose to look at these energies around us differently and to interpret them for me and my family, my health, in my own unique ways.